Hey guys, Chris here with Giving Project Nerf, and today we're going to compare the brand new Worker Gen 3 to the original Worker Gen 1. Very curious to see how the Gen 3 holds up, so let's get it out on the range and just torture the crap out of it and see what happens. Alright, before we do this, everything's going to be done indoors because it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Yes, I love you guys, but let's just do a couple of measurements real quick. I've got a really accurate digital caliper right here, so we're going to turn that on. And for the sake of this, it's probably a little easier in metric, so we're going to go ahead and just do that. The Worker Gen 1 is 36.55 millimeters in length. Let's see if the Gen 3, oh wow, the Gen 3 is actually just a hair longer here, guys. 37.6. So it's apparently it's a couple of millimeters longer. Diameter, they are in fact the same at 12.65 millimeters. And I'm noticing that the foam on the Gen 3, I don't know how well you can see it on camera, is just a little bit longer, and the gap between the head and the foam is shorter on the Gen 3. Which auto-mode quite well for durability. As you know, the Gen 1s, if you shoot them out of a really powerful blaster and they hit a wall or something like that, the heads tend to break the glue loose and then they fly off and you have to re-glue them. So very curious to see how the little bit longer, newer Gen 3 holds up. So we're going to get them out on the range. We're going to use our CETA with our zero scar barrel. Alright, so we're going to get them on the range. We're going to be shooting from about 20 feet away, indoors at night. Again, it's 2 a.m. in the morning. But we're going to do 3 rounds. We'll do the first round, will be 15 of each one, and then we'll do 2 more rounds, sudden death, 5 for 5. So we'll fire a total of 25 of each one, see how many hits we get, and then we're just going to really brutalize them to test durability. I'm going to take my caliber from just a few feet away and fire them into a wall, and see how many heads come off of each one. And yeah, then I'll get back to you and we'll see with my conclusions. Alright guys, as you can see I've got just a few targets set up here. They're 1 liter Pepsi bottles. We were shooting at from 25 feet away, and we're going to start with Worker Gen 1s. Now I want you to understand that my CETA does have the zero scar on it, but there is no type of optic or anything like that. So I'm going to shoot it from rest and see how many of the 15 rounds we can score on these bottles with. So let's get at it. Alright, that was 5 hits on 9. I've still got 6 left, so we're going to set the bottles up and see if we can't finish this out. Five for 5 on that, so I got to set them up one more time because I have 1 more Worker Gen 1 left in the magazine. So let me set them back up and we'll fire the last dart off, see if we can score 1 more hit. Alright guys, that's 11 hits out of 15 darts from 20 feet away. That's not too shabby on open sight. So let's switch off to the brand new Worker Gen 3s and see if we get anything any different. Alright, we're going to go with the Worker Gen 3s, and yes guys, just in case you're wondering, I am shooting left to right on your screen here. So we're going to attempt to take out that bottle closest to the door that way. First, and just go right across the line, just like I did with the Gen 1s. So let's see if we can beat 11 out of 15. Alright guys, we knocked down all 5 bottles, but it was actually 6 hits. I still have 7 darts remaining, so we're going to set them up and go again. Okay, you can see I'm out of darts. I didn't have one to shoot at the last target there. That's 4 more hits with the 6 that we had on the first go. That's 10 out of the 15 darts, so it's pretty close. Alright, here we go, we're reloaded. This is our little sudden death round. I only loaded 5 of each one, so I only get 5 shots to try to knock down all 5 bottles. We're going to start with Gen 1s and see what happens here. Okay, well that's a pleasing result. Even though we didn't knock the 1 bottle down, we did hit it. As you can clearly see, that's 5 for 5, guys, for Gen 1. So, right now, we're on 16 hits out of 20 darts fired. Hopefully the new Gen 3s can match it. Let's give it a go. As you can see, I've emptied that katana, and we still have 1 standing, so that's 4 for 5 again. So that is 14 of 20 for the Gen 3s versus 16 of 20 for the Gen 1s. I'm starting to see a little bit of a pattern, but you know what? I want to do 1 more suicide round, 5 apiece. Let's get at it. Okay guys, for round 3 here, I've loaded 5 of each one, but I'm going to call my shots. I'm not just going to shoot left to right this time. I'm going to call them out loud, so hopefully you guys will be able to hear me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my microphone around to face me, and then we're going to go call shot and see what we get 5 out of 5. Again, we're going to start with the Worker Gen 1s. Alright guys, here we go. Far right. I did hit it. Dead center. Left center. That was not a hit. Far right again, since it's still standing. And left side. There you have that. I mean, that's allowing for a little user error, but that's 3 out of 5 calling your shots. Let's switch to the Gen 3s and see what happens. Alright guys, here we go. Let's go far right. Left center. That's not a hit. Dead center. Not a hit again. Dead center. And since it's the only one standing, right. Alright, again, so that was 3 out of 5. It seems to be that the Gen 1s are just a little bit more accurate. That being said, the Gen 3s are pretty good. Alright guys, and one more test I've got to do on these is going to be a durability test. So I am going to intentionally fire them into this wall or the door there from just 10 feet away. And see how many of the tips go off, because as you know, the Worker Gen 1s, if they hit a solid object at velocity, the glue tends to give up, and they break. So I'm curious to see how the Gen 3s fare against them. So again, my caliburn from 10 feet away, let's do this. We're going to start with Worker Gen 1s. Alright guys, so here's the Gen 1s, and hopefully you can see in my hand there, 6 of the heads flew off of the Gen 1s with that kind of impact at that distance. So let's put the Gen 3s up and see if they hold up any better. Alright guys, I would show you how many of the heads came off, and I'll try to get you a view here in my hands. Every single one of these new Gen 3s survived. Every one of them still has their head on it, and it's I checked them all. It's still, let's put a few down here. It's still glued in there pretty good. Look at that. So wow, how durable is that? 15 rounds into a wall from 10 feet away with a caliber, and they survived. These things are definitely a contender for my new dart. Alright guys, that was some pretty interesting numbers on the Worker Gen 1s on our range. And again, the CETA had no optic on it. It's just like you see it sitting here behind me. So I'll allow a little for user error, but we went 19 out of 25 on the Worker Gen 1s. On the Gen 3, we went 17 of 25, so a little more accurate with the Gen 1s. However, our durability test was a far different matter. We took the caliber from just 10 feet away and intentionally fired them into a wall. We lost 6 out of 15 of the Gen 1s, and we lost 0 Gen 3s. Not a single one of these broke. As a matter of fact, I went a little farther. Sorry I didn't get it on cam for you. But those of you that have been with me for a while remember the Predator long shot. Now, if you haven't seen this blaster, it chrono averages like 265 FPS, guys. It is a beast. And I was actually able, with that blaster, to break a single Gen 3 dart. There it is right here. The head's still attached, but as you can see, it is broken. But it took 3 passes from 10 feet away from that blaster at 265 FPS before the head finally gave on it. So, ultimately, what are my conclusions? The Gen 3 Worker is really a good dart. It's just a fraction longer than the Gen 1, but it's obviously very much more robust, which I appreciate because my Gen 1 Workers, they get beat up. Obviously, if you don't hit a target and you bounce it off a fence or something like that, you're very likely to lose a head, which is kind of a pain in the butt. So the Gen 3s are obviously much more durable, and they're very comparably accurate. 17 to 25 versus 19 to 25, allowing for a little user error in there. Statistically speaking, that's not that much. So ultimately, your Gen 1s are going to be a hair more accurate for you. Your Gen 3s are going to be more durable. So ultimately, for me, I'm probably going to switch to the Gen 3s and just take the durability. They're a good, accurate dart, and they tend to hold up a little bit better. So for me, Gen 3 is definitely a winner. Guys, till next time, this is Chris for Project Nerf saying, have a blast.